Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. Today, September 15th, September 16th, when I'm recording this, we have two new breaking news reports out of one in Minnesota and one out of Georgia, where we have two very interesting and Democratic candidates running for governor in these two respective states, which could definitely really change the outcome of the 2026 midterms governor elections. So we start in Minnesota with the less shocking piece of news. You have incumbent Minnesota Governor Tim Walz saying that he will run for a third term in 2026. He was elected to this seat in 2018 and was reelected in 2022. There were not many Democrats that would have ran anyways. His Lieutenant Governor Penny Flanagan was running for Senate, and Representative A.G. Craig of Minnesota's 2nd was also running for Senate. We'll see how that primary goes between Craig and Flanagan, though Flanagan is a favorite. So now that Tim Walz is running, we can basically confirm that he will be the Democratic Farmer Labor nominee. Now, for the Republicans, you have a lot of candidates. It's probably going to be Scott Jensen, a former state senator and the nominee for this seat in 2022. Last time he ran against Tim Walz, he lost by around 8 points. I think this time, if it's him again, he's going to lose by 11. Then you also have Kristen Robbins possibly running, and then also Mike Lindell or Julia Colvin might hop into the race. But either way, Tim Walz will likely keep the seat. Either way, Democrats are likely going to win the seat, but there you go. Now, let's go to Georgia. This is the much more competitive seat. So, a former Republican lieutenant governor who spoke at the 2024 DNC and is very anti-MAGA, he switched to the Democratic Party, will run in the Democratic primary for the 2026 Georgia governor's race. This is a Republican incumbency. Republican Governor Brian Kemp is term limited. You have Republicans in a pretty crowded primary. You have Burt Jones and Chris Carr, both Georgia cabinet officials, and you could also have Brad Raffensperger, the guy who basically confirmed Georgia's electoral votes to Joe Biden in 2020. He might jump in. He's a less MAGA candidate, but I think it's likely that Burt Jones might be the nominee, but we will see how that goes. But this is by far the best nominee for the Democrats so far. Geoff Duncan, he has the highest name recognition out of anybody in this race so far. Basically, if I ask 99% of Georgians, they probably won't know who Mike Thurmond is. They won't know who Derek Jackson is. They won't know who Jason Steves is. They won't know who Keisha Lance Bottoms is. So, Geoff Duncan, at least a bit more Georgians will know who he is. And the only other candidate with somewhat of a high name recognition is Stacey Abrams, and she lost his seat to Brian Kemp by 8 points in a state where Biden won in 2022. So, this is very good news for Democrats, and it really gives Democrats their best shot at winning this Georgia governor's race and flipping it for the first time in however so long. So, if they are able to flip Georgia, and they would also be able to hold on in Arizona. Honestly, Michigan, I don't know how Michigan's going to turn out, but they would be able to hold on in Wisconsin. And, I think Wisconsin would be a lean Democrat. And then you also have, here's the thing about governor's races, right? The more good candidates that you have in these at least somewhat close races, the more Republicans have to spread out their funding so thin that you might have a chance to win in other races. Maybe pull off an upset in maybe Iowa, maybe Ohio, maybe Nevada, maybe Alaska. That's definitely very interesting. So this is a big win for Democrats in this state of Georgia. And honestly, I might have to make Ohio. I think Tim Ryan runs and he makes it lean Republican. Rob Sand versus so Iowa would also be a lean Republican. Honestly, Nevada could be much closer. I'm actually moving that to tilt Republican now. Joe Lombardo, I think he wins by 0.8 percentage points against his Attorney General Aaron Ford. Alaska, because it's not Mary Peltola, Tom Begich loses by a lean margin. And in Michigan, I'm now moving this seat from tilt Republican to tilt Democrat. So in a three-way race basically between Jocelyn Benson, John James, and Mike Duggan. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Please consider subscribing and liking, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.